Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. The first and most important news today is about Fauji Fertilizer and PIA, that's Pakistan International Airlines. Yes, Fauji Fertilizer now wants to buy Pakistan International Airlines. Today, a letter has come to light, written by the people at Fauji Fertilizer to the General Manager of the Pakistan Stock Exchange Limited, informing them that everything happened very urgently on the 13th. In Hindi, one might say Turant instantly, and in Urdu we say Fauran immediately. This gives you an idea of how urgent the matter is. On the 13th, the Board of Directors of Fauji Fertilizer held a meeting, and in that meeting they approved the decision that Fauji Fertilizer wants to acquire stakes in PIA. Now, usually such state-influenced organizations don't act so swiftly. It takes a few days even to issue a letter. But this time, the board met, and on the same day a letter was issued by Brigadier Khurram Shehzad, retired, the company secretary of Fauji Fertilizer. The letter, with reference number 6.12 PSE/FFC, was written on June 13, 2025, the same day as the board meeting. Now, I don't know whether someone personally hand-delivered this letter to the stock exchange or if it was couriered to arrive the next day. But the letter was written the same day, which tells you the urgency and that this seems like an emergency-type decision. The acquisition of PIA appears to have been decided in haste, but is being presented as in the greater national interest. We must acknowledge the efforts of Brigadier Khurram Shehzad, the company's secretary of Fauji Fertilizer, who wrote and sent this letter. Now let me tell you a bit about Fauji Fertilizer. It is a fertilizer manufacturing company, and compared to private companies, it receives gas at subsidized rates because it is considered a national entity. This heavy subsidy allows it to produce fertilizer at a lower cost. As for how cheaply they sell it, I'm not sure. You'll have to find that out. But it's safe to assume that some of the subsidy is passed on to consumers. Still, it's difficult for private companies to compete with them because of the subsidized gas prices. There might be some kind of arrangement made so that private companies can also buy fertilizer at the same subsidized rate, just to make it seem fair and avoid backlash. Fauji Fertilizer is part of Fauji Foundation, which is a welfare department of the Pakistan military. Around 90 to 95% of those working in Fauji Foundation are retired military officers and personnel. The system is strictly hierarchical. A brigadier cannot be placed above a major general, for instance. Organizational structures are designed so that retiring officers receive equivalent ranks in the foundation after retirement. Now, coming back to the main point, Fauji Fertilizer is now going to acquire Pakistan International Airlines. Previously, a semi-military type company also tried to buy PIA. Blue World City showed interest. They wanted to buy the entire airline for about as much as a single aircraft costs. Reportedly, they offered rupees 2 billion. To give you context, I assure you, even a major private bus service in Pakistan like Nukan or Manthar probably wouldn't sell their entire fleet for that amount. Blue World City, if I'm not mistaken, also owns Suno TV, and they are said to be very close to senior military officials, making them a kind of military-backed enterprise as well. However, that deal didn't go through. At the time, PIA paid millions for consultancy services related to privatization, more than what Blue World was offering to buy the entire airline. Now, this is a new chapter in the PIA saga. Let's see how it unfolds. We will keep you updated with any developments in this matter. Let us pray that whatever happens, it benefits PIA, Pakistan, Fauji Fertilizer, Fauji Foundation, and Field Marshal Sahib. Now, let's give you a quick update on the ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel. In the past few hours, Iran has launched its most severe or most effective missile attack yet. From Iran's point of view, extremely effective. From Israel's, the worst. You know that when missiles are launched from Iran, they first pass over Iraq, which is quite compromised and effectively under United States influence. Then they fly over Jordan, where the authorities actively shoot down Iranian missiles, claiming they might fall within Jordan, though in reality they are headed further away. So, any Iranian missile or jet has to fly over Iraq and Jordan to reach Israel. As I said earlier, most missiles get intercepted either in Iraq or Jordan. Iraq is less active in this, but Jordan is actively taking them down. Despite that, today, just a few hours ago on Monday morning, something changed. Iran's missiles successfully dodged these defenses and hit their targets in Israel. Israel was already aware of a potential attack. During our previous vlog, they were warning civilians. Israel prides itself on its four-tiered aerial defense system, covering ranges from 4 kilometers to 2,000 kilometers. But the new missiles launched by Iran are remarkable. Not only do they pass over Iraq and Jordan, but they also deceive American and regional defense systems, dodge all 4 layers of Israel's missile defense, and strike their targets. One of the key targets was reportedly the home of the Israeli Prime Minister, likely Netanyahu's ancestral residence. That location was hit, and buildings in that area were completely destroyed. Many deaths are now being reported from Israel, which may not have been fully prepared for this particular strike. Other targets included the Haifa port and various military installations. Even now, sirens are going off in Tel Aviv and surrounding areas with fears of more incoming missiles. Iran's missiles have finally and effectively reached Israeli territory. Israel has not experienced this level of direct destruction since the end of its last war with Arab states. Similarly, Iran hasn't seen such destruction on its own soil since 1988. Iran has fired new ballistic missiles which have reached their targets. On the other hand, Iran has now confirmed that the head of the intelligence unit of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, essentially one of Iran's 2 main military forces, Mohammad Kazemi, has been killed or martyred by Israel. Not only him, but also his deputy, Hassan Mohaqiq, and Commander Mohsen Bagheri have also been killed. All of this took place on Sunday evening, just a few hours ago. Moving to the United States. Former President Donald Trump claimed in a social media post that a ceasefire agreement between Iran and Israel might soon happen. He stated that sometimes wars are fought to reach agreements. To achieve or win a treaty, war becomes necessary. What he seemed to suggest implicitly is that perhaps one party, likely Iran, was unwilling to come to the negotiating table, and after being attacked, Iran might now be more willing to make a deal. These words weren't explicitly said, but the tone of Trump's message suggests that now a deal will likely be made following the damage Iran has sustained. Previously, Qatar and Oman were mediating the negotiations, which were being held in Oman. Reportedly, they had reached the 6th session, but Iran refused to continue participating because Israel targeted and killed the Iranian representative leading the negotiations. As a result, Iran now believes that sitting in such talks is pointless, as there's no genuine intention for resolution. Next, another development from the United States. There are reports that Trump's administration is planning to impose travel bans on 36 more countries. Earlier, full bans were placed on 12 countries and partial restrictions on another 7 or 8. Now, 36 more countries are under consideration. One of the countries named is Egypt, though this is still a preliminary report. It's being said that these countries will be given 60 days to improve their systems, particularly regarding security, visa data handling, and information accuracy. If improvements are not made within this time, travel bans will be enforced. Al Jazeera reports that Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani has officially condemned Israel's attacks. This is a major development, especially considering how heavily influenced Iraq is by the United States. As mentioned earlier, for Iran to launch missiles or jets toward Israel, they must pass through Iraqi airspace. Iraq's open condemnation and declaration of support for Iran is therefore significant. In contrast, Jordan, as we know, has been silently shooting down Iranian missiles that pass overhead, although they shouldn't be doing that. Iraq has at least maintained neutrality and has not engaged in such acts. Jordan, however, has been actively intercepting Iranian missiles, which complicates the region's dynamics. This next update is from Pakistan, specifically about its economy. Analysts are saying that the 3 years since 2022 have been among the worst in Pakistan's 77-year history. In Faisalabad, over 1,600 factories have shut down. Prices of key crops like cotton and wheat have declined. Inflation and debt have increased. Economic growth has slowed. In response, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI, has released a white paper criticizing the current government's performance. The paper draws on findings and data from independent analysts such as Kaiser Bengali and Hafiz Pasha, and reflects the views of respected economists like Shirani Sahib. The document highlights the devastation caused since the removal of Imran Khan's government in 2022 and attributes much of the current economic collapse to the policies implemented thereafter. While the Iran-Israel conflict rages on internationally, back home in Pakistan, strange things are unfolding. For example, in Sambriel, PTI claims it won the election, but Form 47, the official election result, declared PMLN as the winner. To appreciate their workers, PTI held a gathering in a wedding hall, but police surrounded the venue and held people hostage. While wars rage elsewhere, in Pakistan it appears that the constitutional rights of political parties are being suppressed. Meanwhile, other political figures such as Yusuf Raza Gilani and others have already benefited from the Toshakhana, or gift repository, scandal. Now, a new controversy has emerged around Anwar-ul-Haq Kakar, nicknamed Raju Bangaya Gentleman, which means, well, Raju becomes a gentleman. He once claimed people called him a joker, and now he wants to be taken seriously. Journalist Sanaullah revealed that during his final days as caretaker Prime Minister, Kakar took 2 bulletproof vehicles from the Cabinet Division, approved the decision himself, and now uses them, claiming it's for his own security. He declared himself a high-profile individual at risk. When Kakar was first appointed Prime Minister, it was already predicted that he would behave this way. Now he's in direct competition with Shahbaz Sharif in terms of who excels more at political flattery, a humorous yet sharp commentary on Pakistan's leadership. New revelations have emerged about the Blasphemy Business Group, a criminal gang accused of entrapping youth under blasphemy laws. One of their operatives, a girl named Imran, reportedly used a vehicle registered in the name of Rao Abdul Rahim, who is believed to be the mastermind of this network and also represented many of the victims legally. This information is being widely circulated on social media and is a developing story. More details will be shared as they emerge. After the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran, the Shah was overthrown. His son, Reza Pahlavi, recently gave an interview to BBC about the current Iran-Israel conflict. He urged the Iranian people to rise up against their government, calling this a golden opportunity for change. He believes that if the people overthrow the current regime, he could return and take power. It's reported that Reza Pahlavi's net worth may exceed $20 billion, although that is unconfirmed. Interestingly, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is making similar calls to the Iranian public, urging them to topple the regime, which he describes as oppressive and brutal. So now, both Netanyahu and Reza Pahlavi, the exiled crown prince, are calling for the fall of Iran's regime, encouraging internal revolt from outside. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.